Title for the record.
Okay, I'm Phil Simmons. I'm Studio Director for Land Rover's Exterior Design Realization Team.
And Phil, you're a little purple, so let's move over in front of the car.
All right, I'm on white light.
Yeah, and show them the car. So, this is your baby.
Well, I'm part of a large team, so not my own personal baby, but the Land Rover design team has done a fantastic job yet again. And it's been my pleasure and to lead the Exterior Design Realization Team that's taken this car from basically a clay model all the way through to the production reality that you see today.
And it's very similar in design to the Land Rover Discovery Sport. Was that on purpose?
Yeah, this is Land Rover building a family of vehicles under the Discovery banner, and this is effectively the flagship of that Discovery family of products. So it's very much part of that Discovery Sport lineage. And when we did the Discovery Vision concept, which we showed at New York in 2014, I think it was, that was Land Rover basically setting out our vision for the Discovery family. And I think, as you can see, this is Land Rover basically doing what we have a great track record of doing, which is to deliver on the look of the concept car very faithfully. So if you love the way the Discovery Vision concept looked, then you're going to love the way the production vehicle looks.
You know, you guys have a history of bringing prototype cars into production, and I'm thinking of the Evoque specifically.
Exactly. With the Evoque, that was kind of the first time we'd put a concept car out there, had a fantastically positive reaction from customers, and that gave design the confidence and the remit, really, to deliver that car pretty much untouched as a production reality. And the sales numbers speak for themselves. It's been an absolute surefire success for us.
Now, in terms of kind of the design language that you used, obviously this is very aerodynamic. I think it's 0.33 coefficient of drag. Is that right?
Most aerodynamic Discovery ever.
Yeah, was that on purpose? Is that where you were going for?
Much so. I think efficiency at this stage of the game is vital. Absolutely vital that we make sure that with all the weight-saving measures that we've taken, and with the aerodynamic improvements that we've been able to make, what we have is an extremely efficient vehicle. Still very, very capable. It will take 7 full-size adults, those 97.5 percentile adults, which are up here somewhere. So you can kind of take 7 rugby players in a Discovery, just as you've always been able to in the history of Discovery.
People are saying it's missing the rugged look. What do you have to say? What do you think?
I've seen them out there on the rocks and on the dunes today, and they look pretty rugged to me.
Andrew says, love the look, retro modern.
Retro modern? I don't know if I see that. I just see a really modern looking vehicle. For me, the expression over those headlamps, when you see them on the road and they're following behind, that couldn't be anything but a 21st century vehicle. And while we're on the front corner, let me point out these outboard ducts.
Yeah, I was thinking about those. Yeah, tell me about those.
This is an important part of the aerodynamic story. So the fast-flowing air that hits the front of the vehicle finds its way into these ducts, and then it's ejected out through a slot in the front wheel arch as like an invisible curtain of air over the front corner. And that tricks the rest of the airflow into believing that's a very soft.
Austin is saying, love the new LED lights. What was the inspiration for that?
Again, this is the Discovery Vision concept made real, basically. So what we had there was kind of a perspex, a solid perspex arrangement with an LED light pipe behind it, and we've been able to make that production reality. So it's really fascinating when you walk around the vehicle. The light that you see refracted in those solid perspex elements changes, but from the distance, when you see them in your rear view mirror, it could be nothing other than the new Discovery.
Johnny says, can you put a winch in it? And Johnny, we're publishing a review of this vehicle, and in the review there were some discoveries that were kind of part of the Discovery team to help us in case we got stuck, and there was a beautiful integration of the winch into this. It made it look really rugged.
Absolutely. Well, I think you'll be doing some sand dune driving tomorrow, and you'll notice there are a couple of Land Rover Experience new Discoveries at that event, and they're both fitted with a winch, and they do look really cool.
Yeah, no, they look awesome. I think that should be an option that you guys should offer.
Sure.
Because it makes it, it says that this has that off-road DNA.
Yeah, it gives it a real toughness. It gives it the ability to rescue other vehicles that have gotten stuck, That's something that Land Rovers do.
Somebody wants to know, where is the air intake? Is it underneath the car, or is it in the grille?
The air intake for wading.
Yeah.
Do we mean? Yeah, it's through this opening line. So all the air necessary for the engine to breathe at a wading depth of 0.9 of a metre is taken in through that gap. And some people asked, why did you stop at 0.9 of a metre? Why didn't you keep going? Well, beyond 0.9, the vehicle floats. So there's there's a very logical reason why we say it's capable of wading 0.9 of a metre, but you don't want to go beyond that point.
People are asking if there's a diesel option, and yes, there is. This is, I'm not sure, there's two options, right? There's a supercharged 3-liter, 340 horsepower, and there's also a 3-liter diesel that I think is, it's more, is it more or less? I don't recall. Do you remember what the horsepower of the diesel is? Two, yeah, 258 horsepower.
You've been doing your homework, that's excellent.
Yeah.
Top marks.
People want to see the bag. Can we walk around and look at the bag?
It's a bit dark around there, I'm not sure you're going to get a great picture.
But we'll take a look.
But while we're on the aerodynamic theme, if I put my fingers through the spoiler,
Oh, look at that, yeah.
there are slots all the way along, 3 slots along the back edge of the spoiler, which is all about taking, again, that fast flowing air over the top of the vehicle, goes through the slot, ejects out here, again fast flowing air, and what it does is the dust and the dirt that recirculates behind the car is pushed away from the glass by the fast flowing air. And it just means that your rear screen takes a lot longer to get dirty. We've still got a very nicely integrated rear wash wipe, but you just don't have to use it quite so much.
Now people are asking about towing capacity. I think with the, actually with the supercharged petrol engine, it's almost 8,800 pounds, and the diesel I think is 7,000 pounds. So,
yeah, don't work in pounds, so I'm going to say 3,500 kilograms.
yeah, that's 7,000 something,
Yeah.
but 2.2 you multiply it by.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. I'm getting an education.
Let's look at the back. Let me go around back and
Yeah.
show them these LEDs.
So the tail lamps,
Yeah.
again, very distinctive. When you're following this vehicle on the road, you're in no doubt as to what vehicle it is. And I don't know if your camera will pick this up, but this asymmetry
Yeah, it's asymmetrical.
around
Yeah,
the tailgate, around the number plate or the license plate, that's a nod to the heritage of Discovery. We didn't have to make it asymmetrical, but it's a pleasing graphic, and when you're following that car again from the rear, it's absolutely unlike anything else on the road.
Now, people are asking two questions. They're asking, let's go around the front because it's pretty dark.
Sure,
People are asking about the ground clearance. I think it's 11 inches, and then you can, with the air suspension, if you get the air suspension, you can jack that up 2.9 more inches. I know you probably work in millimeters.
Yeah, I do. So I certainly know that the air suspension, its capacity to lift this car off the ground
Yeah.
is phenomenal. And it's even got a mode whereby if you're in your maximum off-road
You can go higher.
clearance and you get grounded, there's that kind of secret mode where you unlock a little bit of extra ground clearance and you can free yourself.
Now, people are also asking about the weight, and I remember in the product presentation that I watched today, you've used a lot of, and it's aluminum here in America.
Right.
I know that you
Yes.
say it in a different way, you had an extra eye to it, but it's 85% aluminum, so it's quite literally a lot lighter.
Yes, absolutely. Aluminium intensive. There are some steel components, there are some composite components. We've tended to choose the appropriate material for each component. But certainly weight saving is very much at the core of making this car much more efficient. And it's based on our premium lightweight architecture, so that's the same architecture that underpins Range Rover Sport and Range Rover. So we've got a great set of building blocks to make a fantastic 21st century Discovery.
And people are asking about pricing. It starts at about $50,000 if you get the base model, which doesn't have the third row
Right.
and doesn't have a lot of the electronics, and then it goes up to, I think, over 75 if you get the launch edition.
Yeah, keep on ticking those options boxes. You know you want to,
Yes, and this one, if it's a luxury, it's about 64,000, I think.
right?
The ones we were driving today.
Sounds very reasonable.
When will it be available? End of May.
End of May.
Yeah.
Or
Is there
now,
going to be
or your
is there
local-
is there going to be an SVR version? Somebody wants to know.
Well, I think there very much could be. We'll have to see what customer demand looks like. Some people want to take it more in a more off-road direction, and what about chunkier tyres? Some people want to take a more sort of performance-orientated direction. But I think at its launch, that core version in S, SE, and HSE variants, and the Aerodynamic pack, which you see here, which gives you a deeper front air dam, more aggressive look, looks a lot sportier, and particularly with the contrast roof graphic. Kind of gives the whole vehicle a lower visual centre of gravity, and you get gloss finishes on these components, so it really lifts the overall level of desirability. I think we'll sell a lot of these.
Yeah, I bet you will. Mad Dog wants to know, how much influence does Tata have on the design?
Well, they have an opportunity to influence, very much so. They're extremely supportive of Land Rover design, and I would say they're very interested. They haven't been so involved as to kind of force us to do things that we think aren't right for the brand. So far so good. They've just given us all the support we need. They've allowed us to reinvest our profits in the product, and that's really what's behind the great success that you're seeing, not just at Land Rover, but Jaguar Land Rover.
Andrew says the design is amazing.
Thank you, Andrew. Well said, sir.
And they want to see the inside. I don't know, we can try, but it might be too dark. Is it even
The
unlocked?
alarm doesn't go off.
Is it unlocked?
We'll see.
Oh, this is
There's
going to
only
be...
one way to find out.
There you go.
No alarms. Again, it's very dark.
Oh, it's not too bad.
Black interior.
Yeah.
Very popular option. You can see the ambient lighting in red there.
Yeah, I like the red stitching too. That's a very nice touch.
Yeah, it's a nice touch.
And of course, you've got the usual Land Rover terrain management, but in auto mode,
Yes.
it kind of does it all on its own, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Really love the interior.
Just a nice feature to point out on the
Yeah.
interior is that.
It won't open up. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Now, in America, you would use that to store your handgun. What would you do? What would you do that? What would you do with that in the UK?
Well, here we are. We've chosen to store in there the activity key. So this is something that you can wear.
Yes.
It allows you to throw your keys in the car, basically lock the vehicle with the keys in it, and then you can go surfing, you can do whatever leisure activity with this just on your wrist, and then when you come back to the car, you present it to the D on the tailgate, the D of discovery, and in you go.
All right. So why is it on the Jaguar to use the J and on this one use the D? It was just the first letter in the name. Was that
First
the reason?
letter. It's easy to remember. I think that's important. We don't want people guessing. So yeah, go to the D of discovery and you're in.
And is it also true that like all the little controls are under the V? So if you want to open the tailgate, the little handle is under the V, and so same thing in the front?
I think it is on the tailgate.
Yeah.
On the front, when you release the hood latch, it's just on the centre line.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
where to look.
All right, last question. A lot of comments here. Is there a roof rack? Is there a roof rack? I don't know.
Not fitted to this particular model, but they are available.
And,
Yeah, so
and then you have you can get the double sunroof, right? The one in the front and then the one over the third row. Yeah.
so this is showing the double sunroof.
Yeah.
Yep, so
This one has both, and you also have that kind of stadium seating where it's a little higher in the
yes,
back.
each row is a little higher than the one in front of it, so it gives you a great view forward through the front screen. And we've got an opening sunroof on the front and fixed in the back there, so you've got the opportunity to let the fresh air in as well.
All right. Johnny wants to know, when are you going to build a Defender?
Well, if I was to tell Johnny the
Yeah.
answer to that question, I probably wouldn't be employed this time next week, so I'm going to have to just
You take a pass
keep
on that one.
to myself for now.
Now, one of the cool things about this car is it's got a 50-50 weight distribution. Is that possible?
That sounds about right to me.
yeah.
That's certainly the number that we'd have
Yeah.
gone for. I don't know what the end result is, but I wouldn't be surprised that it's 50-50. We've had a really good track record of, we've set ourselves the target of being better than the LR4 for approach angle and departure angle, and we've hit those targets. We set ourselves a target of 0.34 for the CD, and we managed to get to 0.33.
San Francisco 49er wants to know, what's the name of the color?
This colour is Firenze Red.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
So very Italian.
Really vibrant red.
It is.
Yeah,
It really pops.
yeah, it does.
When will Land Rover build sedans? I think that's up to Jaguar.
That might take a little longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to focus on SUVs for the foreseeable future.
And does it still have Meridian speakers? People want to know.
It certainly does. Yes. There we go. We can see the badge on
Yeah,
there.
somebody knows their audio system.
Yeah,
All right,
audio
last question.
system's great.
I promise this would take about 10 minutes, and we were gone 14.
That's all right.
People want to hear the exhaust. We don't have the key, unfortunately.
No, I can't offer them that, unfortunately.
So does it come with a 40-20-40 split? The rear seats are actually really unusual because they're electric and they
I think
fold.
it's at least 60-40.
Yeah.
The way it's split, and the 60 side can be divided up into like a. I think it is pretty much
Yeah, let's look.
40-60 forward.
Yeah, it looks that way.
Yeah, because you can fold down each seat independently.
It's very dark in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think each one of the 7 seats you can control independently. You can have all kinds of different
I love these
seating
I love
layouts.
these. Oh, the screen just went off. But there's screens behind every headrest. So if you've
Yeah.
got kiddos, I think there's like 9 USB ports. I remember, and gosh knows how much,
9 is
Yeah.
the figure we ended up with. Yes.
and maybe 7 power sockets.
Yeah, you don't want somebody getting upset because they can't access the USB they need.
All right, last question.
Vital.
Last question. What's your favorite part of the new car?
Favourite part of the
Yeah.
new car? I think it's the way the car looks. I'm going to choose the rear, actually. When I'm following, because over the last few days we've been travelling in
Sure.
convoy, and when I'm following this car, there's nothing on the road that looks anything like it. It's unique, it's distinctive, and it looks so modern. Just really pleased with it.
So hey guys, I got to drive this off-road today, and if you go to TFL Car tomorrow, we'll have the off-road review posted. So be sure to check that out. And thank you very much. I really appreciate the fact
My
that
pleasure.
you've taken the time to share this new disco with our viewers.
Thank you.
Okay, finish.